I'll just take this. This is going to go downhill very quickly. So I'm jerking off in the shower the other day. The other week, whatever, it's a story. Going vigorously at it. I'm touching my down belows. It gets hot and heavy. And I find something. I'm going to stop you right there. You're thinking STD. No, I found something in my down belows. You're an asshole for thinking STD. But I find something and scares the shit out of me. The first thought I have is testicular cancer. I don't have insurance, so I look up a doctor that's nearby, a local doctor. I call them and try to set up an appointment. Immediately, the nurse is asking me questions I don't know how to answer. First off, she goes, "How did you find it?" Well, when I was, looking, at the time, the only thing I was looking for was a good time. So, I didn't know. I was exploring. I don't know. What do you say? The second question she asked, "What do you think you found?" A gremlin? I don't know. Something that didn't belong there that needs to be removed. So she continues asking me questions. She sets up an appointment. She goes, "Don't worry about it. The doctor's going to take a look at it. Everything will be fine. Just don't feed it after midnight. Don't get water on it." Gremlins reference. Who doesn't love it? So I get to the doctor's office. First red flag. Doctor's office sandwiched in between a pawn shop and a liquor store. Immediate red flag. And the thing is I can't quite tell what is the entrance to the doctor's office. So I go in, second red flag, the only magazine in the rating room, Tiger Beat. I don't know if you guys know that one. I didn't know they even published it anymore. Also, one magazine of Esquire. I don't know why, just cuz. Other than that, it's immaculate, it's very nice, everything's, the receptionist was polite, everything's organized. A very pretty nurse takes me to the back room, she gives me the gown, she goes, "Dr. Rimnall will be in to see you in a minute." So I put on the gown, it's that Smurf blue like standard gown, but it's like just too tiny. It's like they gave me the kid's gown, it doesn't cover everything. So I'm sitting there on the table in the gown, and they get an updraft of my down low, and circumstances dictated that I had had sex the night before. The next day, I hadn't had a shower. So it smells like somebody washed me with a dirty vagina. But they were thorough. It's not even today's vagina. It's like yesterday. It's not even the vagina du jour. It's yesterday's vagina. It smells. So, continuing on. It might get worse. It might not. So anyway, I think, hey, I'm going to do my good deed for the day. I'll wash myself off. So there's a sink. The doctor's office, it's completely normal, even though, thank you, that's my mom. So I mean, everything had been nice. I mean, the reception, besides the Tiger Beat, had been clean and organized. The doctor's office is nice. He's got tongue depressors. He's got that table with the wax paper for deli meats. He's got the sad cat I Hate Mondays poster. Everything's normal. I'm sitting there in my, my Smurf blue gown. I get the smell. I think I'm gonna do my good deed. So I walk over to the sink and I'm doing my, I'm spritzing my tater tots like it's like a hot day in the summer. I'm doing some kind of party motion apparently. I'm pantomiming. So I wash them off. The only thing that I can find to dry them is tissue paper. So, I'm using tissue paper. It's coming off in clumps, like, white. It looks like lice, so I'm doing it. Also, note to you, if you spritz a stench and then rub it really hard, it brings it out like a bouquet. Now you know, in case you want to surprise a family member or loved one. So I'm doing this, and the doctor comes in, and he doesn't just come in. He kicks the door in like it's a goddamn drug raid. He's like, "What's going on in here?" So I'm in the corner doing my party dance robot, cleaning myself motion. And I turn around with like an expression of pain and upset. I'm sad. I don't know what's going on. I look like a child that was just sexually harassed by an adult. So he comes in, he steamrolls it. He doesn't even acknowledge it. He comes up to me, he shakes my hand. He introduces himself as Chris. He doesn't even say Dr. Rimnall. He just gets right into business. He sits me on the table. He asks me a few questions. And he's down there. He's inspecting the goods. And he's like, look left, cough, look right, cough, look down, smile. He gives me one of the, sing me a lullaby that's emotionally relevant to you. And he rubs it. So, he didn't do any of that, actually. I'm just kidding. What he did was actually much worse than that. What he did instead of that is he's down there, and he's got his fingers there, and first, I see a look of confusion cross his face. Last thing I want to see on a doctor's face. The next look is surprise. Again, something I don't want to see on a doctor's face. I can see his train of thought. He's down there, I'm up here. I see his train of thought, and he's like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is something I've never experienced before. This is something new. So I go, at this point, I know that something is there that he's found, and I go, what's going on? What have you found? What's new? And he goes, eh. And then he fucking left the room. Meh. And then he just left. Like I was a bad Netflix movie. I'm pretty sure he went into a back room and checked some book and was like, oh my God, what the fuck was that? It felt like a gremlin. So he comes back and he says, I want to do an ultrasound. I think he's going to send me to the hospital. He doesn't. They have an ultrasound in the back room, of course. It's at this point that I see that C-Rimnal spells criminal on his badge. At this point, it's too late. I follow him into the back room. The room, again, immaculate. Large widescreen television, ultrasound machine table. I'm laying there. The nurse squirts that goo, ectoplasm, I don't know what it is. She starts scanning, and I can see it on the television, and it looks like a poltergeist. I don't even know how to describe it. And you can hear the sounds inside, which is weird. And it sounds like a predator. It's like, I heard a macaw, I think, at some point in time. And the doctor goes, interesting. Which is the last thing I want to hear. It's like he's pondering, like I just changed his world perspective. And he gives me, he goes, I got good news and bad news. The good news is you don't have testicular cancer. The bad news is you've got the worst case of yesterday's vagina that I've ever seen. The end.